all the years, Ollie Joe Prater, I'm sure you, yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember.
What a legend. I mean, did you guys ever run together? Any stories of you running with Ollie
We did a
Joe?
lot of things together. In fact, I got a great Ollie Joe story. If you get, we worked together, and this is when I was just starting. And Ollie was he was like 350 pounds then. And he was just a big dude, and he had every vice a man could have, and he doubled it. No matter what, or drinking, gambling, drugs, anything. And but I loved him. He was just, a lot of people didn't like him because he had a rep for stealing material. And he'd tell you, right, you killed last week in Cleveland. And I go, what do you mean? Hey, you might not want to do that one bit because I think I used it a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But one day, he had called his drug dealer, and he was getting a half a gram of coke, or a gram of coke. And so he comes up to me, and he was headlining, and I was opening up for him at the Laugh Stop in Newport Beach. And he said, listen, I got the man coming down, bringing me a coke. He said, now listen, he said, I really want to do a line, I need one, because I've been up for 2 days. He says, when the guy comes here, he knows who you are, just get the gram of coke. He says, on stage, you could walk off stage right into the bar, and the bar was in a closed area. It was like a holding pen in between shows. But it was a one-show night, so he said, this is what I want you to do. He said, when you get it, I want you to chop it up in 2 lines, and then flash me. And that means I know that it's ready. So he is on stage, and I flash him, and he's in the middle of a bit, and he's killing. But the whole time he keeps looking for me. So I come and give him the thumbs up, the eagle has landed, type kind of thing. So he's in the middle of a bit, and he goes, wait a minute, folks. He says, I gotta get something to drink. So he walks off stage and just leaves the whole crowd standing there. He opens the door to the bar. He walks in, he closes the door, he takes a straw, and he does the whole gram of coke in 2 lines, just boom, boom. And he walks back, he closes the door, he walks back on stage, and some guy says, he said, what happened to your drink? He said, oh, I forgot. Ollie Joe, man. He was funny.
What are you going to do this as long as you can stand up?
That's all I can do. I'm too old to do anything else. No one's gonna. I could be a greeter at Walmart. I don't know. I mean, I'm too old to do anything. Moving people.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be climbing ladders at my age. I've been telling jokes. I've been doing stand-up comedy for 30 years. That's all I've done is tell jokes for my whole life. With the few years that I was working as a house painter. But that's all I know is to tell a joke and writing. I've written 2 movies I'm trying to sell. I just finished my first draft of a novel I wrote. So I'm gonna start going back and work on that again when I get.
Is it a fictional role? Is it about being on the road? Is it about life as a comedian?
It's about baseball.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it talks about the kid's name is Johnny Dodge. And it's his whole story about wanting to become a major leaguer, and basically it was my story. So he lives with his father and his grandfather. His father's a coach, and his grandfather's an assistant coach, and he's 8 years old. And it goes from 8 years old all the way to him actually signing with the majors. And every year is about being in Peanut League, then the Little League, then Pony League, then high school ball, then going to junior college, and getting signed by the Chicago Cubs, and then winning the Cy Young Award 3 years into it. So it's really a great story. I really am happy with it. And it brought back a lot of fun memories because my father and my grandfather were my coaches.
Yeah.
And when you write something, you have to always write about something that you know. Or it's too much work. Because I wrote a movie about death penalty, and it took me a couple of years, 3-4 years, before I was happy with it. But then you have to do so much research. But Little League, I just told my life. I had some great stories there. There's one kid, my dad was a coach, and we had this young kid named Pookie Colbert, he was a black kid, and he was really funny. He was a good athlete. He's in jail now, probably. Who knows? But he had no desire. He was just an athlete. He was just a really good kid. But it was just dumb as dirt. So he played center field because he had a great arm. And one day, my dad, I'm playing left field, and I noticed over there, and he's dancing in the middle of center field. And so my dad, when he comes in, my dad walks up to him and says, Pookie, I said, you're out there dancing in the middle, we've got a game going on here. And Pookie had a transistor radio in his back pocket and had the cord running up his sleeve into a little ear thing. And he's sitting there out there listening to James Brown during the game dance.
Wow.
This kid was like smoking pot at 10 years old. One time the ball was, he was sitting in right field. I think he was asleep because he was always wearing sunglasses. He's playing right field. And some guy hit a ball. And he was so stoned, and the ball came right at him, and he ran towards the ball. He thought it was going to be shot. Well, the ball flew over his head. So then he turned around, and the ball hit the fence. So it was coming back at him, and he ran past it again as the ball came this way. He turned around, stepped on the ball, fell on his ass. He was so discombobulated about where he was going because he'd been running back and forth, stepping the ball upside down, picks it up and threw it over the center field fence. And the whole crowd just went, "What in the fuck?" And so Pookie didn't even want to go back to the dugout. He just had his bike parked over there right by the right field. So he just waved to the coach. He jumped on his bike and pedaled home. He's out there with this next game.
How have Bob and Tom being on that show, has that helped you? I mean, how has that affected you?
Of course. Yeah, Bob and Tom, I've done that show. I don't know, I've done there 3 times, 4 times a year for over that. I remember Bob and Tom, you remember too, that their original studio was probably half the size of this room.
You're right.
You know what I mean? There was one mic and all 3 of us were hovering over
Right.
it. You know, and it was just about now their place because they're so big and they're all over the country. And I actually get recognition because I have a very distinguished voice. And people, I've been in line at the grocery store and I'll be talking to someone because I like to talk and bullshit. And people say, "Are you on Bob and Tom?" Because I didn't recognize my voice without ever actually seeing my face, but they just know that voice.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, but no, these guys, they rebuilt. I think Bob and Tom actually rebuilt a lot of these clubs because they give so many comics, and they're smart, and they're the #1 radio station in the country, in the world probably. They're in more markets than Howard Stern.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, and they're both great guys.
Yeah.
I love them.
John, thanks a bunch.
No problem, man. Good to see you again.